Let's begin slowly. Take a steady breath in and let it out gently. If you have ever told yourself, I need to stop overthinking, this episode is for you. Overthinking is a word we use often. We say it casually. We say it critically. We say it with frustration. I'm overthinking again. Why can't I just let this go? I'm making it worse in my head. But what if that label is incomplete? What if what you call overthinking is not a thinking problem at all? What if your body is on alert? Pause there. Because that changes everything. When your body perceives threat, not necessarily danger, but uncertainty, it activates. Heart rate shifts. Muscles tighten subtly. Attention sharpens. Your system begins scanning, not because you are weak, not because you lack faith, but because your body is wired to protect you, and protection often begins. Before conscious thought, the mind then steps in to explain the tension. It begins running possibilities, replaying conversations, forecasting outcomes, analyzing tone, questioning decisions. From the outside, it looks like overthinking. From the inside, it feels urgent, but the root is not excessive thought. The root is perceived instability. Take another slow breath. Your mind is not trying to sabotage you. It is trying to create certainty. For a nervous system that feels uncertain, this is important. When the body is calm, the mind does not need to loop. When the body feels safe, thoughts soften naturally. So before you criticize your thinking, we must ask a different question. What is your body responding to? Unresolved tension, uncertainty about the future, relational strain, invisible stress? The body detects shifts before the mind fully understands them. And once it detects them, it prepares. Preparation looks like thinking, but thinking is only the surface layer. In the next part, we'll go deeper into what alert really means and how chronic alertness quietly fuels mental loops. For now, sit with this shift. You may not be overthinking, you may be protecting. Take one more steady breath. Nothing is wrong with your mind. We're just beginning to understand it differently. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. We need to talk about something subtle. Most people think of alert as dramatic. Fight or flight, panic, adrenaline. But chronic alertness rarely looks dramatic. It looks functional. You go to work, you handle responsibilities, you respond to messages, you show up. Yet underneath that normalcy, there is a steady hum of vigilance. A quiet scanning. Your body is not in crisis, but it is not fully at ease either. This state is often called hypervigilance, not extreme fear, just sustained watchfulness. It develops slowly when life has required you to anticipate problems, when mistakes carried consequences, when unpredictability was common, when you learned that staying prepared meant staying safe. Over time, your nervous system adapts. It becomes efficient at scanning for risk, and scanning requires thought. So the mind rehearses conversations, analyzes tone, predicts outcomes, replays decisions, not because you are obsessive, but because your body has not fully powered down. Take another steady breath. Chronic alertness does something else. It narrows your focus toward potential threat. This means neutral situations can feel charged. A delayed reply feels significant. A subtle shift in someone's voice feels meaningful. A small uncertainty feels urgent. Your system is asking, what changed? What did I miss? What should I prepare for? Again, this is not weakness. It is adaptation. But adaptation that once protected you may now be exhausting you. When alertness becomes baseline, rest feels unnatural. Stillness feels unsafe. Silence feels loud, and your mind keeps moving because your body never fully stood down. This is why telling yourself, just stop thinking about it, rarely works. You cannot argue your nervous system into calm. You must signal safety to it. And that signal is not mental first, it is physical. In the next part, we'll explore how the body and mind feed each other and why calming thoughts alone doesn't break the cycle. For now, notice something gently. If your mind feels loud, your body may feel guarded. And guarded does not mean broken, it means protective. Take one more slow breath. You are beginning to understand what has been happening beneath the surface. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. If you've tried to reason your way out of overthinking, you already know something important. Logic doesn't always quiet the loop. You can tell yourself it's not a big deal. They probably didn't mean it that way. Everything will be fine. And yet, your body still feels tight. Your stomach still knots. Your shoulders remain tense. Your chest feels slightly guarded. This is because thoughts are not the starting point. They are the translator. When your nervous system senses uncertainty, it activates first. The body shifts before the mind narrates. Then the mind steps in to make sense of the activation. It scans for explanation. What's wrong? What could happen? What did I miss? The thoughts feel like the problem, but they are responding to the body's signal. This is why calming thoughts alone rarely works. You are trying to quiet the echo without addressing the original sound. Take another steady breath. Imagine this clearly. If your body feels unsafe, your mind will generate scenarios until it feels safer. If your body feels secure, your mind does not need to loop. This is not about intelligence. It is not about discipline. It is not about spiritual weakness. It is regulation. And regulation begins in the body. This is also why prayer, when used only as mental reassurance, sometimes feels ineffective. If the body is still tense, the mind continues searching. You cannot think your way into calm if your nervous system is still braced. But when the body softens, even slightly, thoughts follow. This is good news, because it means you are not trapped in your mind. You are responding to physiology, and physiology can shift. In the next part, we'll talk about how to signal safety to your body without forcing relaxation and without pretending everything is fine. For now, notice your shoulders, notice your jaw, notice your breathing. There may be subtle guarding there, and that guarding has been trying to protect you. Take one more slow breath. You are not failing at thinking. Your body has simply been on duty. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Now that you understand something important, that your thoughts are often responding to bodily alertness, the question becomes, how do you calm the body without pretending everything is fine? The answer is not force. You cannot command safety. You can signal it. The nervous system responds to cues, and those cues are physical. Begin with something simple. Lengthen your exhale, not dramatically, just slightly longer than your inhale. When the exhale extends, the body receives a subtle message. We are not running. We are not fighting. We are not in immediate danger. Do this now. Inhale gently. Exhale a little longer. Again. You may not feel dramatic change. That's okay. Safety signals accumulate gradually. Another cue is posture. When alert, the body leans forward. It tightens. It prepares. See if you can soften your shoulders. Let them drop slightly. Unclench your jaw. Allow your tongue to rest naturally in your mouth. Small releases matter. You are not collapsing. You are telling your body that it does not have to brace right now. Another powerful shift is narrowing your focus to the present moment. Alertness lives in the future. It predicts, it prepares, but safety lives in the present. Ask yourself quietly, in this exact moment, am I safe? Not tomorrow, not in the next conversation, right now. Often the answer is yes. Your body may not fully believe it yet, but repetition builds trust. And this is important spiritually as well. Trust is not only cognitive, it is embodied. When you slow your breathing, when you soften your muscles, when you stay present, you are practicing embodied trust, not forcing faith. Practicing steadiness. In the next part, we'll explore how faith and nervous system regulation work together, and how spiritual surrender can calm the body when it is understood correctly. For now, stay here, breathing, softening, signaling safety, one small cue at a time. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. We often think of faith as something that happens in the mind, belief, conviction, trust in what we cannot see. But faith is not only cognitive, it is regulatory. When faith is embodied, it does not just reassure your thoughts, it calms your system. If your body is on alert, telling yourself, just trust God, may feel insufficient, not because your faith is weak, but because trust must be experienced, not just declared. Your nervous system needs repetition, consistency, gentle reminders that you are not alone in holding everything together. When surrender is understood properly, it becomes a safety signal, not passivity, not avoidance, but release. Release of ultimate responsibility. When you recognize that you are not the sole stabilizing force in your life, your body can soften. Because control and hypervigilance often grow from one belief: it all depends on me. Faith gently interrupts that belief, not by removing responsibility, but by reframing it. You are responsible for your response. You are not responsible for every outcome. That distinction is powerful. When prayer becomes a steady practice of releasing outcomes, instead of mentally solving them, the body begins to settle. When you say, I have done what I can, the rest is not mine to carry, you are signaling safety, not magically, gradually. This is why some people notice that their anxiety reduces, not during intense spiritual effort, but during quiet surrender. Because surrender lowers vigilance, and lowered vigilance allows the nervous system to stand down, take another steady breath. Faith is not meant to pressure you into perfect calm. It is meant to support you. When your body forgets, it is safe. In the final part, we will bring this together. How to live without shaming your thoughts, how to respond when alertness returns, and how to move forward without labeling yourself as an overthinker. For now, sit with this. You are not battling your mind. You are learning to reassure your body, and reassurance is an act of trust. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. There is something else we need to acknowledge. Alertness does not appear out of nowhere. It develops, often quietly, often gradually, often early. If you grew up in an environment where emotions were unpredictable, where tension lingered in the air, where you had to read the room carefully, your nervous system adapted. If mistakes were costly, if approval felt conditional, if love felt steady but fragile. Your system learned to monitor, not dramatically, just enough to stay prepared. Sometimes it was subtle. A parent who was easily overwhelmed, a household where conflict simmered beneath the surface, an atmosphere where you learned to sense shifts before they were spoken. Children are incredibly perceptive. They may not understand what is happening, but their bodies respond. And the body remembers, even in adulthood, that early wiring can remain active, not because something is wrong with you, but because vigilance once served you. It helped you anticipate. It helped you adjust. It helped you stay safe. Later in life, different experiences can reinforce this pattern. High-pressure careers, chronic stress, relational disappointments, unexpected losses, moments where trust was shaken. Each experience can quietly confirm, stay alert, prepare, scan. Over time, alertness becomes baseline. You may not even remember when it began. You just know that your mind rarely fully rests. This is not a character flaw. It is conditioning, and conditioning can be softened. Understanding this is powerful. Because instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" you can ask, "What did my system learn?" That shift removes shame. You are not defective. You adapted, and adaptation is intelligent. But what once protected you does not have to dominate you. In the next and final part, we will bring everything together. How to live without the overthinking label, how to respond differently when alertness rises, and how to move forward with gentleness instead of self-criticism. For now, take one more steady breath. Your body has been doing its best. And now, you are teaching it something new. Take one slow breath in and let it out fully. You may have called yourself an overthinker for years. It may have become part of your identity. I just think too much. I analyze everything. That's just how I am. But what if that identity was built on a misunderstanding? What if you are not an overthinker, but someone whose body learned to stay alert? That shift matters because labels create limits. When you label yourself as an overthinker, you approach your mind as an enemy. You try to silence it. You try to suppress it. You criticize it. But when you understand alertness, you respond differently. You ask, what is my body reacting to? What uncertainty am I holding? Have I been bracing without realizing it? You become curious instead of critical. And curiosity calms faster than judgment. There will be moments when your mind loops again. That does not mean you have failed. It means your system detected something. When that happens, instead of tightening against it, slow down. Lengthen your exhale. Soften your shoulders. Ground yourself in the present moment. Remind yourself, I may feel alert, but in this moment, I am safe. You do not need to eliminate alertness forever. You only need to respond differently to it. Over time, your nervous system will learn that not every uncertainty requires vigilance. It will learn that you can face unknowns without bracing against them. And that is growth. As we close this episode, carry this with you. Your mind is not broken. Your thoughts are not proof of weakness. Your alertness developed for a reason. But you are allowed to outgrow constant vigilance. You are allowed to experience life without scanning it. You are allowed to think without defending. Take one more steady breath. You are not overthinking. You're learning how to feel safe again. Until next time, be gentle with your body. It has been protecting you for a long time.